Ma'am, can you hear me, ma'am?
Yeah, Dharya, how are you?
Good
Good
evening,
evening.
ma'am.
Good evening. Good evening. You're looking good. Why did you switch off your camera? Let's wait for others to join. My third story is about depth. Hi, Sampath. Hello, Abhinav. Hi, Harshit. Hi, Samuk. How are you all?
Hello, ma'am. Yeah,
Hello,
fine.
ma'am. Fine, ma'am.
Fine, fine, fine. So, hi, Sitsri. Okay, are you all? I think. Do you all remember your assignment that I had given you? Yes. Okay. So, shall we start?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Who's going to come up on your cameras? Okay. This is an English language, and we are going to. We are going. Our class is about public speaking. So I want you all to start your camera. Okay. So I can see the confidence in you, how you are delivering. Okay. Okay, somebody forgot. Okay, okay, you no problem. If you forgot, you can just, it is just a 1 minute, 1 minute essay. You have time. By the time others are giving their speech, you can prepare one. Okay, it is small speech. Just 1 minute. 1 minute is not going to take a lot of time. So who is ready? Abhinav, on your camera and start. start with your speech. Before you start, I am going to let me tell you once more again. You have to give a very brief introduction of yourself. Okay. All of you, please start your cameras. Go on. Start your cameras.
Um,
Yeah, fine. Okay, Abhinav, I want to start with you. Are you ready with your speech? You hear me?
Ma'am, my camera is not working, ma'am.
Okay, no problem then. In that case,
Yes, ma'am.
Abhinav, are you ready with your speech? Unmute yourself.
Ma'am, can
What
I
is your
say
topic?
like my topic was generation gap?
Okay. Okay, I'm going to start the timing. Okay, give a brief introduction and begin. Come on. Go on.
I'm humming.
Yeah, we hear you. Everybody hear him, right?
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, can you wait, ma'am? I have to prepare.
Okay. You ready?
Ma'am,
Hmm. You ready? Let's start.
is it okay if it's kind of short?
It's no problem. You can keep it short.
Okay. Um, Hello everyone, my name is Abhinav. Today I'm going to give a speech about generation gap. So what is generation gap? It refers to differences in perspectives and ideas between different people and different generations who belong to different time periods. As time evolves, so do human beings. Each generation brings their own ideas and a set of new experience and ways of thinking. This natural divergence creates a gap between ideas of two different time periods, people belonging to different time periods. Now let's try to understand more about
Good. Okay.
it.
Now, is that finished? Are you done?
No, ma'am.
Okay. So
Eh,
anything in a speech, whenever there are beginning lines. Okay. First of all, it is an introduction about yourself. I'm Abhinav. You can choose. You should have told. You should have spoken a little more about yourself. Okay. Like which class are you? Which school are you from? And I'm going to talk about generation gap. So give a there is an opening line. Okay. And an effective speech, there has to be very opening line. So like just one simple way, when I begin the class, I say good evening all of you. Even you say good evening ma'am, right? But if someone someday I say, hey, how are you, doing great, so you'll, it is going to be catchy, right? The spirit is there. So ma'am is very excited today. You're going to get this feeling. So when you're not, I'm taking class almost twice or thrice a week. But when you give a speech, this is one time. This is a one-time interaction, right? So you should always be. Your opening line should always be with a good, with a good energy. The energy should be there. And secondly, what I saw was the pitch, the voice variation. You should see. I'm going to talk about generation gap. I'm going to talk about generation gap. I have stressed this. So now we know the topic more well. So always the word that you want to emphasize, the word that you want your audience to understand, to catch. Like I think I was teaching about French Revolution, and I told you women. I believe women should never skip voting. Why? Because it took 200 years for the women to get the right to vote. I emphasized where 200 years. Okay, so I want you to, and so you might not be attentive in all my sentences, but you were you caught this word 200 years. Okay, so this is the delivering of speech. You should emphasize on some. So there was, I can say, you can do better. Okay, next, who is ready? Anyway, you were good. I'm impressed. How everybody give me yeah, how was he? How was his speech? Write in the message good or very good or excellent. Come on, give me a message. Who's going to be next?
next time I will hit it, ma'am.
Huh?
Next time I'm going to raise the bar, ma'am. Next time I'm going to hit it. I'll say with
Okay,
full confidence.
good. I'm sure of it. So, who's going to be next? Uh, who's not there? Daria was not there last time. Daria is not. Are you? Sumukh, are you ready with your speech?
Actually, I don't know what did you give me at the topic.
Let me give you a topic. I will share your screen. Just a minute. The topic that we are doing, we had written down some topics. You see my screen?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. We have, yeah, these are the topics here. On discipline, value of time, cybercrime, climate change, generation gap, miscommunication in relationships, democracy, corruption, life, health and fitness. There are so many topics that we can talk about. So, Sampath, are you ready with your speech?
Yes, ma'am.
Let us begin.
Yes, ma'am.
Start your camera.
Ma'am, actually my camera is not working.
Okay, no problem. No problem. You can start.
Yes. Good evening, everyone. My name is Sampath. Today I'm going to share you all about AI. What is artificial intelligence? When was it invented? What are its applications? So AI was first coined by John McCarthy at Dartmouth conference. It was invented by a question posed by Alan Turing: can humans think? So, generally speaking, AI is the intelligence possessed by computers which helps us do the activities generally which requires human intervention. And applications of AI, it it has helped us break. It is, we can say it is a best breakthrough in a humankind. We can also refer it to a double-edged sword, as it has many advantages as well as disadvantages. Coming to advantages, it has helped us very well in maps and navigation, radars detection, uh, robotics. It has helped us go through sensor technology, etc. Coming to disadvantages, it has many ethical issues, ethical concerns. It can be wrongly utilized by terrorists, hackers, to do illegal hacking and etc. Thank you, ma'am.
Very good. Very good. Everybody clap for him. Okay. Send me a message. Very good. Everybody write a message. Okay. Who's next? Harshit, are you ready?
Ma'am, I actually don't know how to do it. I was absent in the last class also.
Why did it is just 150 words? You say it anything. But he was very well prepared. He was well researched his topic, and I'm very impressed with this. Okay, so I have given you the topics. Pick up anything. Write 150 words. Typing is, I think, in a minute or two, you can type over 150 words on any topic that we have. You can, very easy topic is climate change. You can talk about the climate change that is going on at present in the current time, and you can also talk about the cyber crime that is related to AI also. You can talk about time discipline. Talk about the kindness, how kindness is important in life. Has anybody prepared? C3, are you there? On your cameras? You people are so shy, you don't want to on your cameras. Nobody's going to say anything. Okay, I give you one more time, one more week. Next week, everybody has to be prepared. I'm noting down. Only 2 people gave me the speech. Right? Okay, so let me talk about, let's talk about your projecting a persona. You see on my speech, on my screen? Persona. What is persona? That is your personality. Okay? So your persona which includes your personality, is the image you want to convey. Okay, now if you want to convey yourself like I am a very humble person, okay, like you are humble, you want to show the people you are humble, you are friendly, right? You are friendly to your audience, and your audience are young teenagers. Okay, so although you are a well grown adult man, adult person, you have to be friendly with your with your audience who are teenagers. So you, what are you going to do? You are going to dress up according to it. Okay, you are going to dress up according to your audience, the way you want to project yourself, the persona. If you don't, if you are going to talk, going to dress up in a very formal way, and your audience are teenagers, of course there is, that you say, there is a gap. The communication gap will come between you and your audience. So you have to also dress up according to your, and because they are teenagers, you have to also do some gestures that is friendly to them. Hi guys, how are you? Okay, now good evening gentlemen. This is very formal because you are interacting with a group of teenagers. Then you have to use your words according to what they are friendly with. So you have to always dress up according to your audience. Okay, point one. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, and your gestures should also be according to what your audience are. If you're talking to adults, or you can say if you have gone to an old age home, and there you have to talk to the retired persons, there you have to be very precise. You cannot crack jokes over there, right? Like you can like you want to be, if your audiences are young teenagers, then you can crack jokes. You can stand casually, you can lean a little. But if you're addressing to a group of elderly, who are elderly, so they, for them, they want you to be precise, they want you to be well standing. So you have to stand erect, you have to dress up with a tie and a blazer, and you can say shoes, no sport shoes, right? So you have to always project your persona according to your audience. Okay, so like in a talk show, you can say a host or other television personals, they deliver who appears to be confident, trustworthy, and calm, have to create his persona and learn how to project that image. Okay. Successful national politicians work to develop personas that are attractive. You must have seen whenever a politician comes to a stage to speak or address the audience, they are always in a, that that leadership politician clothes are there. The kurta, white kurta and a white pajama, and you can say they have a stole. So, do you think they normally walk around with this? No, normally they are not. People wear pant and shirt, right? So, but they will not. They come according to their costume, according to the occasion. So, for your persona, your dressing is very important. And like we have an example here. While there's a example of President Clinton, next, so when you are communicating with the society, have you all seen stand-up comedies?
Yes, ma'am.
Name any
Yes,
stand-up
ma'am.
comedian that you've listened to.
Trevor Noah.
Many are there, and it is. I will advise you to go through YouTube, find some good stand-up comedians, and I think it is. Even I have been to many live shows of stand-up comedians, and this is very, very nice. Okay, so you all offer, you see, they humor about politicians, they humor about many topics. Okay, they so you should always be cautious, because you don't know, if you are going to humor with an elderly person, that person may be offended. Okay, and also you should what are the rules of that you should remember about the humor. Each culture has its own style of humor. Okay, you cannot joke about you should be careful on who are joking about. Okay, okay, so humor requires exceptional knowledge of language. If you're speaking English or you speak in your native language, it is easier. Other than this, let's talk about the persona. Okay, and I will advise you all to listen to some stand-up comedies. Now we have another. I spoke to you about your attitude, how your attitude should be humble, kind. Okay, it should be friendly if you're, it should be more formal if you're talking to elderly. It should be more friendly if you're talking to the young. And now the next rate is your speaking rate. If I'm speaking very fast, right? Like I told you, generation gap. I am here to talk about generation gap. So I have stressed on this generation gap because this is the speaking rate that I am keeping so that my audience can understand. If I'm speaking, hey guys, how are you all? And I'm going to talk to you about public speaking, and this is going to be there are a lot of topics, and in the end of the day, so most of the things I'm speaking inside my own. I'm speaking very fast. You will not be able to understand, and you will just understand. The ma'am was saying something in a very fast accent, right? And there was hardly something that you got. So your speaking rate, like you see, you can find the difference when you see watch an interview. Okay, there's an interviewer and there's a person who is being interviewed. Okay, see the speaking rate over there. That is different. And when you listen to a newsreader, the news readers are often speaking rate is higher. They speak a little fast because they are reading and they are not trying to express anything. They don't have to show they have to be sure they have their expression has to be neutral because they cannot take anybody's side, right? Still, so their speaking rate is fast. But when you're in doing an interview, we are trying to guess what the person is trying to say and what he's trying to understand and what he's trying to take in the question, and then he's going to reply, he's going to think, and then he's going to reply. So the speaking rate is lower. Okay, at another times you may wish to speak more quickly, particularly for a lighter, more humorous presentation. You may also vary your speed as you move from point to point to emphasize one more item in particular. If you watch the television news, you will notice that the news broadcasters speak quickly. In comparison, people being interviewed often appear to be speaking too slowly. And sometimes the news journalists cut them off. They speak so slowly, they cut them off because uh, mm, they do that because they are thinking. They don't have a written script over there, right? So most of the time, the because the interviews are stressed, so they cut this part off. The next point is that we are going to talk about is the vocal variety. Okay, the vocal variety is the tone. Like I told you, when I spoke about French Revolution, I spoke about it took 200 years. So my tone was more stressed over there, right? Because I want you to pay attention to that. Whether it took 200 words is something important. Okay, so this is the variation in tone rate and pauses you use in speaking. Okay, so this, of course, it will not come by just reading. I'm reading out the notes to you. It will come by practice. So when you give me your next speech, put a pointer on all this. So vocal variety refers to the variation in tone, rate, pauses you use in speaking. It is important to vary the way you speak so that you do not sound the same throughout your speech. Okay, like when the say Angrez Bharat chodo, right? So chodo means everybody understands, yes, chodo, right? So quit India movement was there. So you should, if you have time, go back to those some YouTube, listen to those speeches. I don't think you should listen to politicians. You should listen to more of motivational speakers. Okay, so they motivate you also. You can you should pick up some stand-up comedian, someone who you feel light and who you can understand well. Okay, now vocal varieties will help your audience interest. Okay, now when you're talking about, when there is a pause, when there is a stress somewhere, right? When somewhere you also raise your voice. When you raise you might feel that I'm shouting, but to the audience you're not shouting. To the audience it is very precise. You see, this person is speaking very precisely. Okay, now this will help them stay focused. Your audience will focus on you when they are somewhere low, and then suddenly where there is a stress on a precise topic. The audience will get focused. Okay. For example, you can guide your audience attention to specific points you wish to emphasize. Slowing down your speaking rate can also capture your audience attention and focus them on a particular point. Now, next point, keep in mind the importance of vocal volume, that is vocal projection. Okay, so the relative strength or weakness of someone's ability to speak loudly enough to an audience is in a given context. So you might say, okay, if I ask you, no, do one thing, raise your voice, be more louder. So you might say, I'm going to feel as if I'm screaming the audience, but it is not there. You must have heard many motivational speak. Are you when they ask you, say, do you want it? Do you want your dream car? Right? Say yes. I don't hear you. Say yes. So means uh, this is going to fill more emotions into your audience, right? So vocal projection is there. Are you guys listening to me? You understand? Give me a message. I understand.
Yes, ma'am. And
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Good, good, good. Okay, so you need to speak loudly enough so that your audience can hear you. In large room with people sitting far away, you need to speak louder than if you are speaking in a small room. Okay, so always it happens, depends on the room that you are given and also on the audience that you have. You have large crowd or you have few people. So your volume has to depend on those. So okay, if there is a microphone available, you can decide according to your microphone. You don't need to speak very loudly. You can speak softly also. But if you have a booming voice, you may choose to avoid the microphone. It is better people, I think most audience they want to hear you without the microphone, and but if you are a very large crowd, of course you need a microphone. Now the next important thing is the eye contact. Okay, if you are going, if you are looking down at the ground and speaking, you are never going to connect with your audience. Never, if you're giving a viva, even if you're giving a job interview, if you're talking to, even you can say, if you're talking to me also, talking to your teacher or your family anywhere, if you're looking at the ground and talking, you are never going to connect. Okay, so eye contact is very important in your persona. Okay, you're, of course, you should not stare into anybody. Okay, and also in a very advanced level they say you should look at somebody, and if there are more than one person who you're addressing to, you don't have to look at only one person. You have to vary your eye contact to someone in the right, then someone in the left, and then again you can come to your friendly face, but focus on your friendly face. Okay, the person who makes you comfortable in the audience. Choose the friendly face. Someone who is smiling, not someone who is grinding his teeth. Okay. So go to the person, but don't stare at the person. You should vary your eye contact with others also. So a little bit in the right, a little bit in the left. Okay. And then again come back to your friendly face. So your eye contact is there. Okay, the most direct ways to show engagement with your audience, and it can lend credibility to your presentation as well. As we saw in chapter 4, the norm of mainstream in US culture is to distrust people who do not look at us directly. Like I told you, you will never be able to connect if you are looking at the ground or if you're looking at the sky, right? Never look up, never look down, look straight, find a friendly place, and always move your eye contact from one place to another. Vary it like from right to left or left to right, whatever you're comfortable with. Okay, now do not interpret lack of eye contact in this way. They often interpret it as a sign of respect. Therefore, you should consider your eye contact and adapt it to that context in which you are speaking. Okay. Now, gesturing and movement are also part of your persona. Like, let me give you an example. If you are not starting your camera, but if you would have started a camera, I would have done an example with you. Whenever you're talking, when if I am yeah, like Abhinav, you okay, let me do an example experiment with you. Okay, so take your hand, okay, and move it towards 1 inch towards your cheek. Okay, keep it still. Okay, and then now do one thing, just touch your chin. Yeah, you give it a thought. You did. I touched. You gave it a thought. You did not. You did not. You will have to think. So what the gest when a person is delivering a speech. So if I what gesture I am doing, the audience copies you. Okay, if because I touched my cheek, you got a shock. She's touching her cheeks. So then you understood. No, no, she said chin. So you came to the chin. So uh, whenever you're talking, you have to give a gesture, and especially if you are giving a point. Okay, like I said, in speaking, your persona is important. Your of course, your speech is important, your presentation. So if you are giving your hand gestures, your audience is also understanding point one, point two, point three, and this is because a person learns better when he is given a visual, right? Everybody understand the importance of visuals?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So gesturing and movement, if I am if you are talking on a and you have an if you are talking walking on a stage, the person walks to the right and then he says something, he'll stop and he says, and then he'll walk to the another side of the stage and then he speaks. If you listen to motivational speakers, they often do that. They walk in a pace, but of course the pace should not be very fast, the pace should not be very slow. And when you make a point, you have to stand still. And of course you should never shove your shoulders. You should stand erect. Your face should be straight. You should not look at the ground, not look at the sky. Look straight. So all this you call it, what is it? It is the term as kinesics. Okay. So this part of delivery which we introduced in chapter 4 is known as kinesics, which you may not think that other speakers consider their movements when preparing to speak. The more natural they appear, the more likely is that they have invested time in practice and deliberate staging. Of course, it should not be you should overacting. There should not be. You should not overdo anything. Or if I'm moving a lot of hands and all that, so the person who's the audience might get distracted. Okay, too much of movement of hand is also distracting. Too much of leaning and this and that and leaning that also may get distracted. Too much of scratching of your face and scratching of your head. This is why is the speaker getting itchy, right? So you should not do a gesture that may irritate your audience. Okay, so it should be very natural. Just go with the movement. Okay, so gesturing and movement should look as natural as possible. If they look unnatural and too planned out, these gestures and movement can distract the audience members and focus them on your body movement. They will listen, they will start staring on how you are moving. Okay, and see, she's itching, scratching her head a lot, and she's scratching her cheeks a lot. Huh? So it should, they should not, the focus should not be moving to your body movements rather than your topic. However, it is not very effective to stand stiffly behind a podium because mostly there is a podium that a person stands with. So when you're standing on a podium, you have to move a little of your head, little of your hand, but not too much of it. Okay, I hope you get the message. Some very experienced speakers move from behind the podium when it is appropriate to speak more directly to the audience. Okay, because the podium, after all, is a barrier uh, between you and your audience. So if when usually you may see the motivational speakers, they come out of the podium and they go to the middle of the stage and they connect with the audience. Most singers you may have seen, they what they do, they jump down from the stage and they start moving among the crowd. So that is that gives a better impact. Okay, so of course it is when you are in a high level speaker or you're a singer. Okay, to ensure that voice gesture movement effective your speech. Remember, you should consider the persona you project even before you begin to speak. Okay, I think this is a lot for you to grasp. Okay, now again I have you have to prepare 1 minute, 1 minute, or you can be 2 minutes. Okay, pick a topic, research. Sampath, your speech is good, and Abhinav, your speech is also very good. And now you can write more on the same topic or pick another topic. Okay, all of you who were absent in the last class, this class you have to prepare. Okay, this is no, I am your teacher. You are always, it is always okay to make mistakes in front of me. Okay, so if you make mistakes, only then you can learn. Okay, so don't be shy, be open. Okay, you're allowed to make as many mistakes as you can. Okay, so that's all, guys. We'll end the class now. Fine.
Okay,
Thank
ma'am.
you.
How was the class today? How will you rate it?
Ma'am,
Give me a message.
I'm 9 out of 10.
Thank you. Thank you. Good. So my speech is good, right? So I will do the same rating with you all, guys. Okay.
Okay, ma'am.
So we'll end the class. Pick a topic. Do a
Bye,
little
ma'am.
research on the net. Okay, and then write in your own words. Never copy and paste. Okay. If you want to be a good speaker, if you want to write good speeches, if you want to be a good writer, good speaker, good researcher, you should always do a lot of research, but write in your own words. Okay.
okay, ma'am.
Okay.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay.
Thank you,
Bye
ma'am.
bye. Good night.
Bye, ma'am. Bye.